If you feel empty in life, it's alright. A lot of people will feel empty in life, especially if you are working a lot on your own self, on your mind, on the self-sabotage and the things you don't like. And it's natural to have this void. One, because you're starting to realize that a lot of the things that we pay attachment within this world is fake. It doesn't exist. It's just a feeling that we have because we've been conditioned in a certain way to kind of want, either if it's shiny object syndrome, or if it's attachment to people, or if it's just general attachment overall. And when you start to realize that, and then you kind of feel this void, it kind of reveals the truth that was always there in the first place. It's just that we didn't pay any attention, and that we were living a life where we essentially were self-sabotaging, and that none of it was real. So congratulations if you reach this stage in life, because you've started to realize that a lot of things that we thought were extremely important are not. And I don't mean to say that to kind of make you be disheartened by life, but I mean to say that because it's only temporary, that what you do within this life is only temporary, and sometimes we treat it accordingly as if it's not, as if it's everything, and everything is extremely important, which it is to some degree, because again, you want to make the most out of your life. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just a experience, and no experience lasts forever. And that's the beauty of life, as I say on pretty much every single video. So don't be disheartened by the fact that you feel empty. Think, sit with yourself, and start to realize that, why am I feeling empty? Is my life going the way it really wants to be going towards? Am I living true to myself? And am I fully satisfied with the direction that I'm going towards? And these are very important things to think about, because it's your entire life. So it really does matter. And the reason why I have so much fish in my inventory right now is because it said something about a fish festival. So I'm not sure if I should sell the fish or what's going on, where exactly the fish place would be. I'd imagine it would be here, right? But I could be very wrong. And I presume you can't actually sell your fish, so I think it was kind of pointless. Anyway, let's move on. Another reason why we may feel empty in life is because everything that we have been taught was potentially a lie. Again, if you do create your own reality, then again, you're gonna pretty much have your own meanings for some things. You're gonna have your own kind of direction for things. And so when you live accordingly to other people's standards and other people's wants and needs, again, you're not feeling true to yourself. And as a result, you start to feel empty, because you know deep down inside that underneath all of this kind of smiles that you may have, that you're not entirely happy. And I don't blame you for having that, because again, things like stability, things like comfort, things that kind of feels normal, because it's in our biology pretty much to kind of do what other people are doing. But again, ultimately, it's not a completely real feeling now, is it? Just because it's not authentic to you. And sometimes you may realize over time that you've associated with the wrong maybe people, the wrong hobbies, maybe the wrong sort of things on a day-to-day basis, because you still feel empty. And I think it's a blessing to have that kind of feeling, because oftentimes the way that our emotions work and the way that sort of things feel are very good bases of communication. The way our kind of body and mind, and our emotional body in that sense, communicates with us. So it's a clear sign that something isn't right and something needs changing. And so if something needs changing, why not start sooner rather than later? Why not take that risk? Why not start that hopeful journey and that adventure into the happiest version of you? And again, happiness means taking risks. Happiness means pain sometimes. Happiness takes sacrifice sometimes. And it just takes an overall amount of time where you have to live life to the fullest. Another reason why you might feel empty in life, maybe your brain chemicals are out of whack. Sometimes, the feeling of joy and happiness and safety and all of that stuff, it comes from our brain, our neurotransmitters. and our hormones. Again, I'm not no scientist, however, you can do some basic research on this on yourself. And if you are, probably on this video, you probably know what short form content is. You probably know what having a phone is like, because everyone has phones, everyone has digital devices, and not even just phones, but just tech all around us all day. Oftentimes, this kind of lifestyle will kind of fry up your systems if you abuse it, and it's really easy to kind of abuse it. It's really easy to not even abuse it just in the form of tech, but it's really easy to abuse in the form of food, because things like junk food are very easily accessible nowadays, and that doesn't really do you any good for your mind. It might come in the form of laziness, because it makes you feel like you're not good enough in life to chase after what you want. And again, maybe it's just the things that you're watching on a day-to-day basis or surrounding yourself with. It kind of fries up your limited energy that you have every day within your brain and within your body. And this is kind of scary, because again, these things kind of make exactly how you feel on a biological level. They make you feel a certain kind of way, and when it's kind of abused on really like short things that give you instant gratification, that's really unhealthy, because now you're going to have this void of, what did I just waste my energy on? My energy reserves have been wasted just for something that's only lasted 5 seconds, rather than working on something that I can be happy and proud of for a long amount of time, that I can actually look back on constantly and think, you know what, I'm very satisfied. And don't be scared by that, because it's completely normal, especially in today's age, because mainly just of the fact that we're not really taught, maybe because of the idea that tech is so early still. We're still in the early stages of it. It's only been like, what, 20 years of like mainstream YouTube maybe? But I think it will come out slowly. I think people will shift their awareness to kind of more healthier habits and more kind of things that make them feel like them rather than other people. So be mindful of that. Again, if I want to use the principle of a swimming pool, for example, because I feel like this might be a good example. If you have an empty swimming pool, you can't swim. Common knowledge, right? And the swimming pool represents your dreams, your heart, your satisfaction in life. And so when the pool is shallow, you can't swim in it either. And that's what feeling empty feels like, because you're living a very shallow life under someone else's reign or regime, and you're not filling up your own pool with the right amount of water that you can swim in. That's why it's really important that you fill up your swimming pool, which is your mind, with a lot of, good water, clean water that you can swim in and enjoy the fruits of your labor from swimming, and so on, right? I probably put that analogy really badly, but I hope you get the point. So don't live a shallow life. Don't have a shallow pool. Make sure your pool is, healthy, it's clean, you can bathe in it, you can swim in it, you can do a bunch of stuff with it. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of contaminants in it. You're probably going to get a bunch of insects eroding it. You're going to get maybe a bunch of leaves that kind of go into it. You want to keep the pool clean and full. That way you can have the best experience in life. Otherwise, again, it's going to be shallow and you're not going to be happy. So I hope this helped encourage some of you to maybe take action, to maybe start to really put into perspective in terms of how you want your life to look at or look like, because that's the beauty of life. You have the freedom to plan, you have the freedom to think, and you have the freedom to stay hopeful, because the main source of energy that you can use to make these things a reality, to fill up your pool, is hope. So no one's told you? Yes, you can do it. There's always a solution to every single problem in your life. Trust me, there is. You just need to think hard enough. And I'll probably make that in my next video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, peace and blessings to you all. See you in the next one.